All right, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine, and welcome back to day 2 of the After Effects Daily Creative Challenge. We had a lot of fun yesterday doing Green Screen King, so how to remove the background from your video, specifically if you're shooting on green screen. And we're going to go over a couple of the submissions. I got to tell you right away, a huge thanks to everyone watching, everyone in the Discord, and everyone who's participated. Whoa, we had so many submissions yesterday. I was not anticipating quite so many. This is awesome. So just a huge thanks to the community for being part of this. I was personally a little nervous, and I told Gus Martin, that all of you know here on Adobe Live, that I was really concerned because After Effects is just, well, it's a little bit more challenging, especially if you've never tried it. So everybody really rocked the challenge yesterday. I was in the Discord for several hours. I'll be back in there this afternoon answering everyone who I didn't get to yesterday afternoon, and looking forward to everyone's submissions. So thank you again. It was just wonderful. Want to point out, of course, that we are coming to you live on Behance, Adobe Live, and Twitter Periscope. But the chat that I am following is the chat over at Adobe Live. So maybe by Friday I'll get the hand position correct for this. b.net/Adobe Live. That is where you want to be. Now, having said that, if you want to get started with today's challenge, here is where you need to be. So let me just go over to my screen real quickly, and we're going to go to behance.net/challenge/premiere. That is where the action is happening, and that is where you can download today's assets. All right, you can unlock it here. And Gus was just telling me there may be a couple of extra files which somehow have kind of snuck their way in there. It's okay. Again, it just gives you more opportunities to play with animating text on a path. Also want to point out, of course, that where you're going to submit your creations and talk about them is on the Discord. So bit.ly/PRDiscord. This is just an awesome community. It's just, what can I say? It's creative people helping one another and being nice and respecting each other and asking questions and sharing funny stories and just hanging out and being awesome. So, you know, I'm so grateful for everyone who's taken part in the Discord, and it's really been quite awesome. So one more thing I want to point out too, most of the content from yesterday and today, all of the content came via Adobe Stock. And for anyone who's a Creative Cloud member, you may not have known or may have missed that we now have something called Adobe Stock Free, which as of December was over 50,000 assets. I believe we're continually adding more assets to this collection. So you can find that at stock.adobe.com/free. So now I, of course, gave you a whole bunch of assets to start with. But if you want to find alternates, or for your own creations, you just need vectors or images or video, you can find tons and tons of really great stuff at Adobe Stock Free. So I just wanted to point that out and just let everybody know. Just a couple of quick shout outs here. All right, Jason Rose, what's up? Tim, Space Kitten, how are you doing? Great work yesterday. Reverb Mike, Ferry, Bruce Gonzalez, Gareth, Sean, Joel, Valdair is absolutely indispensable and so wonderful on Discord. Valdair answers probably more inquiries than I do. So Valdair, we thank you so much for your time over there. Rubesh and Quinn, great to see you again. Andreas, I have a very nice audience today. And coming to us over on the Twitter Periscope, we've got PP Portolas and Muba Inc. and Der Gregor. All right. And we've also got Sean Meyer and Des Winter, hey. And again, be sure to follow the chat over at b.net/Adobe Live. Well, with that, why don't we go ahead and get right into it, because we've got a lot of stuff to do. So we're going to start here with a new project once again. Okay, so just like yesterday, this is taking you through the entire process, right? I'm assuming this is for After Effects beginners. So we're gonna take you through everything, and there's a couple little setup things we're gonna do. Now, just real quickly, animating text on a path is so common. It's used really in everything, right? When you just see text kind of careen across the screen and then move off or zoom in, zoom out. Now, we have presets that do a lot of this for you, but it's just something which you're gonna use a lot. And if you've got video where you're trying to parent or attach text to a specific quadrant of a video, it's indispensable. You're going to need this. You're going to need to do this at some point The cool thing is you've probably already done text on a path in Illustrator, maybe Photoshop. You have a concept for this just like yesterday, and there's a lot of similarities between Illustrator and Photoshop and After Effects. So fear not, hang in there, stick with me. We're doing one task today. That's it. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to export it, and then we're going to take a look at some of the submissions from yesterday. All right, so here we go. So we're going to start once again with a new project. Okay, and once again, we can do new composition from footage. Now, I suppose we can do that in advance, or maybe just import the footage. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that in advance. All right, so we're going to start with new composition from footage. Let's navigate to our Tuesday folder or wherever you stored your media. All right, now for the demo, what I'm going to show you today, I'm going to use this first clip here. Clearly GoPro-esque, right? We have that nice 10mm bent lens look. But as you can see, you can see what I'm going for here. Text on a path, right? That like half moon going on there. Perfect. Let's do a Bezier path with some text, not just linear. So I'm going to choose this file. There's also this other file that we used in the previous challenge, and there might be some others, as Gus mentioned. So we want to all acceptable files, import as footage, create composition, checked. All right, and just to reiterate, when you click open, what that does, if we look over here in the project panel, okay, you're going to have your footage here, and you'll know it's footage because you'll see the .mov, and this is your little QuickTime icon. And then this other icon that you see here, this is the composition. All right, this is actually where you're doing your animation, where you're going to keyframe things. We're going to keyframe. Sorry, very burpy today. And this is where kind of all the action happens. The animation happens down in the comp or composition. Okay, great. We're not going to start with this though, because this is a little advanced. First we just need to just type some text and stick it on a path. Okay, so we're going to make a new composition. All right, the first thing we're going to do is go up to the composition menu and choose new composition. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a name, text on path, and then we're going to choose a preset. Now we got a gazillion presets in here, not a gazillion, probably 20. You could do whatever you want just to keep it real simple and easy. All right, let's do, and actually I'm just going to do 1080 24. So this is full HD at 24 frames per second, okay? You could choose any one of these. If you're, you know, in Europe and you're like, no, I like 25, use 25. Film person 24, US NTSC 29 and 7. This is arbitrary, doesn't matter. Let's go with 24 just to make things easy, okay? 24 frames, full resolution. The only thing I'm gonna need you to adjust, I don't know what the default is here anymore. Let's just do something super short, okay? So maybe like 6 seconds. So see, I just clicked into this box right here, and now I can edit that. And we don't need 6 seconds and 7 frames. Let's make this an even 6 seconds, all right? So we're gonna change the duration to 6 seconds and click OK, all right? Once we do that, now you can see we have a new comp called text on path. You'll also see now we can move between the first comp and the second comp down here. All right, so with that second comp selected, we're going to now go up to the layer menu and choose new, solid. And the purpose for this is just to put some text on a color background. That's it. Now we can do all kinds of cool gradient things. I'll show you a little option at the end. I just want to keep this as simple as possible because I'm assuming many of you have never done this in After Effects before. You don't have to worry about giving this a name. The only thing you have to do, we don't have to change anything else. It's going to keep all the same attributes of your comp, is just choose a color. So I'm going to come in here and let's just do something kind of on just a nice little neutrally background, all right? Something like that, okay? Choose the color you want. Okay, now before we start typing or doing anything with the text tool, I want to make sure that you have 2 panels open because you may need to make some adjustments in here. The first being the character panel. So this is where you're going to choose your fonts. And if you notice in here, the font menu, very similar to the one that you have in Photoshop, in Illustrator. All right, so you can easily choose your fonts right there. We are not going to use active grotesque. You know, this is where I always, anyone who's watched me before, I get very nervous because I hate choosing fonts. I never know what to choose. I'm always choosing the wrong one. So let's just go with like Acumen Pro. It's just very commercial and easy. All right. The other panel that you want to make sure that you have on screen, oh sorry, and I'm just readjusting the height of everything here, is the paragraph panel, right? And for this, we're going to start by using left justified text. That's all I really want you to do. Again, you know how these things function, but just make sure they're open and visible. You could also have them stacked next to each other. You won't need to have them both in view at all times, but those are the two panels that you want to see. If you don't see them, as I mentioned yesterday, if you go into the standard workspace, you'll see those there. Also, you can just turn on those panels from the window menu. So here's the character panel, all right, and here's the paragraph panel showing us that both of those are open right now. So you're going to want both of those panels open. Okay, so once you select the font that you want, you can choose whatever style, everything you want here. Let's go up to our tools bar at the top, and we're going to choose the type tool, just like in Photoshop. And I'm just going to start along the left edge here, and let's just type. So let's put some text on. All right, now that's very thin. So again, while I'm still like in typing mode, notice my selection tool here. I can just click and drag and select all the text. If I click away in the gray space to deselect everything, if I double click on the text layer, it's all selected again. So let's make that not thin. Maybe we'll even make it medium just so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, that's fine. All right. And that size for right now is okay. Maybe I'll even make it, I'm going to change the color just so that it pops up a little bit more. Again, colors, fonts, don't come to me. I'm already making myself with this. So now we're going to draw a path, okay? So we're going to make sure that our text layer is selected. Just single click the text layer. This would be our background solid selected. This is our text layer selected, all right? Make sure the text layer is selected. Very important. With the text layer selected, but not the text, right? So not this. I'm not editing the text. I just want the layer itself selected, okay? Let's go up to our toolbar again. And we're going to choose the classic pen tool, all right? And we're going to draw a path. So maybe we'll have it kind of do a little wave, a little sinusoidal motion. Now I'm going to start it outside of the canvas or outside of the stage or outside of our working area here. Now, if you don't have enough screen real estate, remember, adjust your panels, right? We can make things wider and more narrow to give us, if you look like this, just make them a little wider. Or of course, you can also zoom out the views here to give you more screen real estate. All right, so here I'm at 25%. So now I can see everything real easily. So if I want to start this way off screen, I can do that too. All right, so I'm just going to start clicking some points. Right, brilliant. And then if I hold down my Option key, guess what? I can turn those into Beziers. So I'm holding down the Option key, turning these points into little Bezier handles. I can adjust and drag them out and do whatever I want. Maybe have the text go a little low there, a little high here. Okay, just like that. Now we've got a basic path. And then I'm going to choose this here, fit up to 100. Okay, so now you can see our path on screen. You can see our text on screen. Okay. Interesting. So there's some sound dropouts today, huh? I wonder what's going on. I heard that, I saw it yesterday, and nothing's changed in the studio, so I don't know what's happening. Does the sound cut out when he swears? That's funny. Did I swear yet? Okay. Yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on there. I don't know nothing's changed in the studio, so maybe it's just time to throw out my streaming machine. Okay, so now we have our path, we have our text. Let's take a look at our text layer here. Let's twirl it down, and under text, twirl that down, and you see something here called path options. Let's go ahead and twirl down path options. And yes, Option equals Alt on Windows, Charbel. Thank you for that. Next to path right now, you can see it says none. But if we click the drop down, we can see mask 1. So there's the path that we just created. Go ahead and select mask 1. And now when we take a look, you can see that our text is on the path. Very nice. Okay, so now we can begin to move and animate that text along the path. So to do that, you'll see when we added that mask, now we have a couple of new options here, a couple of parameters that we can adjust. And all we're going to need to focus on is this first margin one here. Now, if I just click and drag this, this will allow me to move that text along the path, okay? And I'm scrubbing our hot text here, all right? If I hold down the Shift key and drag that text, it'll move in larger increments, so I can very easily place it on screen or off screen. So as mentioned, I want the text to start off screen. So right about here, you can see the edge of the bounding box there. So let's start it there. Make sure that our playhead, our current time indicator is at the beginning of our comp, and we're going to click the stopwatch icon. And that's going to set a keyframe in our comp. I think you can guess what's going to happen here. Let's go to about the middle. And let's drag our text in. And I'm going to undo that because I'm going to hold down my Shift key so I can get it to the middle. Zzz, right about there. It automatically creates a keyframe for us. Okay? I'm going to shuttle ahead a little bit. Let's just do it with 3 keyframes. Actually, we're going to do, I think we're going to do 2 right there. Let's do another keyframe. Kind of bring this into position. I'm just going to select our keyframe button here without changing the value. Don't click the stopwatch, click this button now. Okay? And go to the end, and now hold down my Shift and drag this off screen like that. Okay? Now the reason I did that with these 2 middle keyframes is I want this to kind of ease into position and then ease out of position again. So I'm going to select these 2 keyframes. They turn blue. You don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you a little trick here. This is called adding some temporal interpolation. Right click or control click on there. And you're going to choose Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. Like that. And it's going to change the icon of those keyframes. Wind this back, hit play. Okay, oh, and it's super fast here. It's really kind of hanging in there. So let's see, maybe it's too slow. It's pausing too long. That's actually okay though. I kind of like it. It's got some nice organic movement. Maybe we'll bring these keyframes a little closer together so it's not stopping quite as much. I just want people to be able to read it in the center there. All right, so let's take a look. Cool, okay? Simple, easy. Now this is something which you can do real easily. I think I learned this from one of the motion array tutorials on YouTube years ago. But you'll notice that when you add that path and you animate that path, you also have this other series of animators that you can add to the text. So a really common one to apply, especially where you have text like in the middle coming together, is something like a tracking effect. So again, you can expand the text and squeeze it together. So if we go over here and choose Animate Tracking, we're going to be able to do just that. Again, if we look down into the comp here, now you'll see you have a tracking amount keyframe. So maybe at this middle position, right where we are right about here, I want it to squeeze together. So I'm going to adjust my tracking to be a little bit more on the negative side here, and let's get it right into the center position, right about there. All right. I haven't added the keyframe yet, by the way. I'm just kind of positioning it. Once I get it to where I want and when I want, click the stopwatch there. Let's wind back to the beginning. Set the tracking to 0. All right. Now this is, again, it's gradually getting closer together. I'm going to move this over here a little bit so it's just before the middle. I'm going to set another keyframe here to 0 so it doesn't actually start coming together till just before the end there. All right. Let's set another keyframe with the same value of -20 right about there. And then just before the end, we'll go back to 0. And we can do the same easy ease on those as well. All right. Wind back, hit play. Space bar for that, by the way. Okay, so it comes in, squeezes together, compresses back out. Text on a path, animated, real simple. Okay? That's all you got to do. All right. So now, apply it to this Adobe stock clip. Okay? So, same thing. We're going to start by typing some text right up here. Islands in the Stream. That's a Bee Gees reference. Also a Dolly Parton reference. The Bee Gees wrote the song for Dolly Parton. Okay. Select our text layer. Grab our pen tool. And let's just start typing some points. Clicking some points. And then let's Bezier those points. Whoops, not that. All right, probably need one more here to get it right along that path, along the edge there. Move this up a little bit, like that. Twirl the text down, twirl down the text layer, path options, mask 1, zzz, easy. First margin. Again, drag it off screen. I'm holding down Shift. Okay. Set a keyframe. Now this is super long, this clip, so I'm going to show you one little other technique here. This is 30 seconds, this video. We don't want 30 seconds. It's going to be too large. So let's say we wanted 7 seconds approximately, or 6. Okay. Move your playhead until it's around 6 seconds. And then where you are, hit the N. N as in Nancy, the N key, and this will end the work area, meaning that this is the area that we're working off of. So go right to the end there, hold down our Shift key, grab that first margin, drag your text. Oh, and look, the text went underneath because I closed the path there before. That's fine, that's fine. Got a little creative there. Upside down text. We can also fade that out if we wanted to. Not gonna worry about that, okay? And now we've got that text on the path, okay? Real simply. All right, now I've got a finished one here. Don't save this. Let's open the previous one. Okay, same thing here where I did the tracking. Notice I also used a different section of the video there where the water rolls in. Just like yesterday now, how do we export this? Okay, same thing. Make sure that the comp is selected. We're going to go up to File, Export, Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. This is going to now launch the Adobe Media Encoder in the background. All right. I keep forgetting to do this before the stream, and for whatever reason, Media Encoder is taking a very long time to load as of late. Way too long. But notice it's already in there now. There it is. That one was from yesterday. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's get rid of this one. We're going to delete that. Okay. H.264. That's your first drop down. That's your format. Choose H.264. And for your match source, to keep it super small, I probably recommend medium bit rate. The only other thing you need to do is click on output and tell it where to go. I saw some people saying in the chat, yeah, if you don't do anything, it puts it into the project file. To avoid that, click on that hot text, go to desktop or wherever you want to place this, give it a name, my text on path, all right, save, and then click the plus button here to render it out. And it will render, and now you have something that you can upload to the Discord. All right? Super cool, super easy, text on a path. All right, had to medium for Discord, LOL. Excellent, Space Kitten. Okay, and it's already done. It's already done rendering, and if I were to go to my desktop right now, desktop, there it is, my text on path. There's what I just did. Okay. Not the most brilliant, but off a couple of the challenges from yesterday. This one comes from Tim Millaway using the two business ladies. All right. Really nicely done. Different background. Looks like you may have done a little color to kind of match that background, maybe not. Looks great though, nicely done, nicely keyed. Really great stuff. And again, finding a background that just kind of works for that environment, it looks totally real. It looks like it could have actually have been shot in there. Really nicely done, Tim. Come up to this one here. This is Computer Gnome 99 with the umbrella. Here they added a little bit of, I believe they used an expression and some camera movement with the wiggle expression to just make it look a little bit more organic and a little bit more real. So very nicely done on this one. Here was another one here from Dorina Boneva using totally different footage. What I really like about this, the background video that they used, I know he used a little bit of color correction to match that foreground character, but it's a really beautiful, clean key. No weird. Now, the one other thing I would probably suggest for this to sell it would be to add a little bit of blur because everything is a little too in focus. So just a little bit of blur on that background is going to make that look even more realistic. But friends, that is all the time we have. So thank you so much for joining. Look forward to your submissions in Discord. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.